Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. A double honor to our apostles at Great Millstone who taught us the truth and who rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and mercy be unto the hopeful elect. Thermonuclear destruction is coming. And why is it coming? Because Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai wants it to come. You know, that's the way that he's going to judge this world. Our power judged the world before by way of killing everybody on the planet Earth, save 8 people. And that's speaking of Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives, and they were the elect of their time. And they had to be delivered by an ark, which Yahweh shut the doors of that ark, lest Noah became compassionate at the wailings and the scream of the people that were drowning. And during this time, our power is going to destroy certain parts of the earth with thermonuclear destruction. And what you're seeing on the screen as of now is a simulation of what will happen if there was a thermonuclear war between Russia, America, and NATO. But we understand through biblical prophecy that there's going to be other nations involved, so there's going to be even more casualties. There's going to be even more people that die because of the thermonuclear fallout or the thermonuclear wind or the thermonuclear fire. And this is the judgment of how Yahweh is going to judge this world during these last days, which not only are the nuclear missiles going to cause devastation and chaos, but you also have to equate that these chariots are going to cause death as well. So there's going to be a lot more than 9.1 or 9.5 people that are killed during these last days. All right, because Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming as well. Yahweh Shai said that he come to bring a fire upon the earth, and what would he if it already be kindled? So those laser beams from those chariots are going to cause a lot of people to lose their lives. And this is the judgment. You know, this is the final and last great judgment. Now, going over to 2 Peter 3 and 5, it says, this they willingly are ignorant of. You know, because you have people that are enormously biased. And they believe that, you know, since things have continued the same way a long time, that nothing is going to happen, that there's no great disaster coming. And when you speak of these things that are going on in the world and show them that it's in prophecy, you know, they seize on any opportunity to be ambiguous and say that, you know, well, these things are open to more than one interpretation. You know, it can mean something else. No, this world is about to be touched, man, by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, these missiles that are created, these are his missiles, man. And they're for his purpose, which I'm going to grab 2 scriptures on that. But this is what they say. 2 Peter 3 and 4 says, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they are willingly ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water, and in the water, whereby the world that was, being overflowed with water, perished. So our power killed every single person on the planet Earth except 8 people. That's man, when you're dealing with a power like that has that kind of rage, all right, and can be that terrible, all right, you ought to fear him. What else can you do? You know, besides fear him and do what you have to do to, you know, escape his wrath. Which in this time, guess what? he's going to destroy parts of the earth by way of fire. Because you have Christians, they believe that the whole earth is going to be destroyed, and there's going to be a rapture to save a particular number of people. All right, different parts of the earth are going to be destroyed, and there is going to be an abduction, and a particular amount of people are going to be delivered from the destruction. All right, which is the elect from the four corners of the world, and that's the only way that they'll be able to, escape that. Because the scripture speaks about the day of Yahweh, and it says, who can abide it? Those chariots getting it in, as well as the thermonuclear destruction. Who can abide that, man? All right, these times are going to be so terrible and so devastating. If you're left on the planet Earth, there's no way that you can escape that. All right, so there's going to have to be an intervention, all right, a divine intervention, of these chariots, all right, these chambers for us to enter into so that we can escape this, because this is the judgment that's coming. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word, is kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So this is how this is how the earth is going to be judged this time. Once it was judged by water, this time is going to be judged by fire. And the fire of those chariots, as well as the fire of the thermonuclear missiles, man. And there's going to be a lot of missiles that are offset, a lot of missiles that are shot off. And there's going to be a lot more than 9.1 million people that die upon the planet Earth, man. But there's going to be enough left alive and preserved out of all of these nations to go into slavery under the children of Israel. Because although all of this destruction is coming, the scriptures does say that there's no end of the people. The scriptures also says that the earth abideth forever. So the children of Israel is going to rule on the planet Earth. And all of these other nations that are left alive are going to go into slavery under them. Our power is about to show his power. And guess what? It's going to be jaw-dropping power. He's about to show his judgments in the earth. All right, to the point where his name is going to be magnified even greater than it was in Egypt. Isaiah, the 13th chapter, verse 5, it says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh in the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. All right, those weapons of his indignation are the ICBM missiles. All right, the thermonuclear missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And these are the weapons of his indignation. All right, his righteous anger, which he put in the mind of these different scientists to create for the purpose of bringing fire upon the planet Earth, which they enrich the uranium, all right, and the other chemical element that they use, so that when they put it within that missile, when it hit, it burns to such a degree that it causes the flesh and the cartilage and the bone, to disintegrate. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai put it in the mind of these scientists to create these weapons. Why? Because he's in charge. He's in control. He directs the thoughts of men. Matter of fact, the scripture says that in the book of Proverbs, the 21st chapter, the king's heart is in the hands of Yahweh as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of man is right in his own sight, but Yahweh pondereth his heart. So it's Yahweh that puts the thoughts inside of you and tell you what to do or what not to do. Thakan, to regulate. And that's the word for ponder, to regulate, measure, estimate, ponder, balance, make even, level, weigh, equal, be weighed out, test, prove. So it's Yahweh that regulates the thoughts of men. He's the one that's in control. And guess what? He put it in the mind of these German scientists to create this kind of technology so that it can be used during these times, all right, as a form of judgment. Behold, I have created the smiths that blow up the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instruments for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Now, the waster to destroy is talking about that missile. All right, because before that missile hit, the land is as Eden. But after that missile hit, guess what? Nothing but waste and destruction. And that's what's about to happen. And because that's going to happen, guess what? There's going to be so many casualties. There's going to be so many deaths. And this is the punishment of the wicked. Matter of fact, when you go to Revelations, the 11th chapter, and you go down to about the 13th verse, it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were frightened and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven. Now that remnant is talking about the elect, the ones that are on the chariots looking down upon the destruction that happened, which is going to be different parts of America. I'm sorry, the whole of America, Salakia. I meant to say different parts of Europe, but the whole land of America is going to be destroyed and devastated, because in this simulation, it only shows Russia shooting missiles. Well, what about Iran? All right. What about Iraq? What about Korea? What about China? You know, what about the European Union? Because even your own allies are going to shoot missiles at you. It tells you that in Revelation 17. That they'll give their mind over to the beast, all right, to rule for a particular time. All right, but eventually they're gonna burn, all right, the whore with fire. All right, and eat her flesh. Now, burning her with fire and eating her flesh constitutes shooting thermonuclear missiles over here to destroy this place. And what's going to happen? 7,000 men are going to be destroyed. Now, does that literally mean 7,000? No. We understand that 7 means a number of completion. So what this means is a complete number of men are going to be destroyed. You know, however many Yahweh determined, which will be more than 9.1 million. Going back to Joel, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. All right? And the day of Yahweh is terrible. You know, it's a dark day. That's the reason why it says in Amos 5 and 8, Salakia, I believe that's 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. All right. And the reason that it's going to be darkness is what? Because that nuclear missiles are going to shoot off. And guess what? The heavens are going to be covered with nuclear smog, man, and smoke, to the point where it blocks out the sun, the moon, and the stars. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. All right, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the light, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So what this is talking about is the amount of nuclear missiles, which there's 200 million of them that's going to be shot on America alone. So the amount of missiles that are being shot is equated to a great people. All right, so these missiles are in their nuclear silos on a submarine or wherever they are. All right, these missiles are equated unto a great people. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, all right, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. And nothing shall escape them except the elect. And that's the reason why Yahweh has something, all right, that is called the chambers, all right, which are the chariots. Isaiah the 26th chapter, verse 20. Because this is the only way that you'll be able to escape them. There's no way that you can flee by way of boat, by way of plane, by way of train, by way of helicopter, as they show you in these Hollywood movies. All right, you're not about to be in the airplane, all right, flying out of Babylon with a nuclear wall of fire rushing behind you, and you barely escape. All right, that is computer-rated imagery, or computer-generated images. All right, those are fake images. All right, and that fake fire can't devour you. But this real fire, there's no way that you can escape it unless the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai delivers you from it. Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. All right, until Yahweh's wrath, his righteous anger, be overpassed. And the scripture tells you in 1 Peter 4 and 18 that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. And why does it say scarcely saved? Because as those missiles are coming down, the chariots are going to be delivering them. And that's the reason why they're going to be afraid and frightened, but giving glory unto Yahweh, as is stated within Revelations, the 11th chapter, verse 13. They're going to have to be seized out of this place by force. This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. And it reads, it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet Yahweh Shai in the air, and so shall we ever be with Yahweh Shai. Now, when you look up the word caught, and this shows you how fast these missiles will come over here. All right, it takes less than 30 minutes for a missile to arrive to its destination. All right, to cause that form of destruction that it can cause. All right, these chariots are going to have to intervene, and they're going to have to carry us off by force, which means come and hurry up and snatch us away. You know, similar to Habakkuk within the book of Bel and the Dragon, which it says that the angel carried Habakkuk off through the vehemency of the spirit. So that's how those chariots are going to have to carry us off. It says to snatch out or away, all right, to carry off by force, to seize on. Those chariots are going to have to seize. I don't want Ratazah be a part of the elect. They're going to have to seize the elect and carry them off by way of force. All right, in order for them to, be delivered from this fire. All right, because the ones that are left within this fire, man, look, this is your judgment. All right, this is the judgment. All right, because those chariots are going to sweep through this place, as the scriptures say that, the thermonuclear missiles are going to sweep through this place, all right, as a besom of destruction. Isaiah 14 and 23, and I will also make it a possession for bitterness in a pool of water. Because after this place gets hit and destroyed, nothing's going to live in this place except desert creatures. And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. And that's talking about that nuclear wind, that nuclear fire and wind that's sweeping through the land, which is going to destroy everything in its path. And you got to imagine this, man. 200 million of those things going off over here. What can survive? All right, what can abide that wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? Now, imagine this as I'm reading this. All right. This is how hot that fire is. This is how hot that wind is. Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, this is talking about the thermonuclear destruction. All right, what is hot enough to cause this kind of devastation? What is hot enough to cause this kind of destruction? It will have to be an intercontinental ballistic missile. All right. Going back to Joel, it says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as of horsemen, so shall they run. Which horses represents power. The way that you gauge the speed of something, you gauge it through horsepower. Also, the way that they run is they leap, they leap. So they're shot from the nuclear silo, and they're shot at an arc fashion, and then they come down upon their target. Like the noise of a chariot on the top of a mountain, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong set in battle array. By their face the people shall be much pain, and all faces shall gather blackness. All right, because when the people know that these things are coming, their souls are going to leave them, man. As in that video by the singer Maxwell, and I believe the video is called "We Should Have Loved More," and it shows you them, the woman crying, and she was pregnant. All right, and standing in the glass window and seeing nuclear missiles hit down. And basically the song is saying that, look, and you don't know when your end is going to come. Basically you should love more. And it shows you in the background nuclear missiles hitting, and then that nuclear wind and fire coming. And that's a reality. That's not something that's far-fetched. That's something that's going to happen. That's a form of judgment from our power. All right, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one, all right, his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, because Yahweh is going to be amongst these. The spirit of Yahweh is going to guide these, and his spirit is going to be in that fire. So although you think that it hits and it's seconds and you die, all right, those seconds, Yahweh can make it feel like eternity for you to be tormented. That's the reason why Isaiah the 14th chapter, it says that those that took the mark of the beast were tormented in the lake of fire. Neither shall one thrust another. All right, they shall walk every one in his path, and they shall fall upon the sword, and they shall not be wounded. So this right here lets you know that it's not talking about an actual person. Because if an actual person receives a wound from a sword or a wound from a gun, all right, they actually get wounded. But this is talking about an ICBM missile, man. This is talking about the intercontinental ballistic missile. All right, this is Yahweh's army. They were created for this day to bring his judgment, to bring his wrath. They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses, and they shall enter in at the windows as like a thief. Dealing with that nuclear wind, that nuclear fire. All right, it's gonna burn everything and destroy everything in its path. The earth shall quake before them. All right, because of the amount of them that's gonna hit. All right, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army. All right, for his camp is very great. All right, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? So there's going to be a lot of casualties. There's going to be a lot of people that die from thermonuclear destruction. All right, when Yahweh Bashmiah Washad brings his wrath and his anger upon this place. Which the only thing we're waiting for before this happens is for this economy to fail and for them to implement what is known as the mark of the beast. Even though it's already here, they have to forcefully implement it. Once that happens, then World War III is going to turn hot. And the way that World War III is going to be fought with these missiles. So this simulation that you see is actually going to be far worse than what is being displayed right here within this simulation. All right, there's going to be a lot more casualties, and there's going to be a lot more countries involved. So that means a lot more intercontinental ballistic missiles. And besides those missiles, even the chariots of the Lord are going to get down and cause killing. So there's a lot of death. A lot of death. So this is a time to increase your fear in Yahweh. All right, increase the fruits of the Spirit and stay faithful. All right, believe in his son Yahweh Shai, man, and repent. You know, it's a time to cleanse yourselves. All right, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So with that, I hope that the lesson was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.